There's a whole world waiting down there to be explored. We just have to take the first step through this door. With this song burning in our hearts, let's begin this brand new chapter. Through this journey to build a future much brighter. We'll give it our all. Whatever we go.
Hi, hello, welcome. Welcome to this. It's good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you, wherever you are. I hope you are well. I hope you are keeping warm if it's cold. I hope you are keeping as cool as possible if it is hot where you are. Thank you very much for dropping by today. Today is not gonna be a very long session, I think, because electricity cut. Well, I have a backup solution which is taking over right now. We're on battery right now, so we are not going to stay here very long in any case. But yeah, today I released just earlier my first cover in my native language, Madagascar. I'm from Madagascar, if you didn't know. And last time, in the last episode of Nova Talks, I did talk a bit about my country. And so we're going to continue a bit today, just a tiny bit. I wanted to talk about the themes that are discussed in this song. Last time I talked about all the stuff that you might not know about the country, the stuff that is typical, the stuff that is specific. This time I'm going to talk about things that I think, I believe many might be familiar and find relatable, mostly. So, like I said, I did release just earlier a cover of a song called Raftut. And last time I did explain that Raftut is a very typical Malagasy meal. I think most of the time, if you're gonna ask, what's a very typical meal that I can eat, you'll probably get recommended Raftut. So it's cassava leaves, crushed cassava leaves that you cook with fatty pork. And depending on the regions and people's taste, they add stuff like garlic or even shrimps, stuff like that. It's I don't know if I don't know if it's an acquired taste or not. There are some things that I think are very much acquired taste, but this one I think you can probably try it. But it's not like it's not spicy. It's not weird combination or anything. It's just very green and with fatty pork. So it's something that I think can be tried without it being too weird. Hello, Nate. Welcome. Thank you very much for dropping by. You saw a recipe for it and it was beef? Oh, well, I guess there are people that do not eat pork and they would replace it with beef, yeah. There are people that do not eat pork here, yeah. And so, mostly, well, basically the song is talking about, well, you know, how children have to live with the expectations of society. Our society is very much traditional. Like, we have many sayings. One that says, oh, this old custom that we didn't see what wait, how do I say it? There's this saying, the old customs we didn't find any fault in, so we keep doing them. And that's said about a lot of stuff. We are very attached to our customs, but at the same time not so much. We've lost practice of a lot of customs, but the mentality is very much you have to stick to what is considered normal, usual. That's why there is this line in the song. It's the same. They want to force you. They want to. What was it? What was the word I used for the translation? They want to force your fate into the same old mold. It's the same old mold over and over again. It ties back to that. Oh, we didn't see any fault in that custom, so we keep making it. We keep practicing it, and I think, I'm sure it was already the case in generations before, but I think now the younger generations now are really feeling that they'd like to try other things, of maybe not necessarily be pioneers in anything, but not just stick to the same old beaten path. I'm saying the generations now because the education, the way we raised kids was very strict, I think. Well, very much like Asian and Africans, we bring the beating to correct the kids, and we are taught to respect our elders at any cost. So we do not much like the feeling of wanting to rebel is beaten out of us. That sounds so bad, but I think that is the case in many, like that's a cliche in many Asian countries for a reason, and it's pretty much the case here too. We even have a saying that says, children you love, you do not spare the stick. you do not spare the stick beating from children you love, basically. So it's the you need to correct the kids, but you correct them through a lot of physical discipline. And I think it's just that the more time passed, the newer generations felt like, yeah, no, my parents really beat me a lot, so I'm gonna not do that to my kids. Or it got lesser and lesser, and I think that's part of why. Maybe I'm just making my own interpretation here, but I think that might be part of why kids nowadays have a bit more of a mind to, try something else instead of what parents wanted us to do. But it's still not as easy at all. And being what is considered a very poor country, the whole thing in life is like, you need to survive and you need to find some success. There's a certain sentiment of I feel like the parents also do something like, okay, I did all of this, you better you better make sure to be successful, to and there's a lot of that kind of pressure that comes to kids. Plus, there's also the educational system. We did talk a bit about this in the last Portia, my time at Portia. Oh my god, my time at Portia stream. We did talk a bit about how the educational system, the academical system might not be very it doesn't really teach you stuff that will actually apply to life. We did there's a certain French heritage here in our education. Like I said, I personally did all my schooling in French. Not all schools are like that, but many are like that. And we do take after the French system a bit. Not 1-1. It's not a 1-1 ratio, but we do take a bit from it. For example, in high school we have like the very last exam, the official exam for you to graduate from high school is the baccalaureate, and you have categories like the literary classes and the scientific classes, and they have subjects that have higher coefficient in the final grade, and stuff like, you had some very good grades in math, so you go to the scientific class, would it be class? Let's call it like that. And if you're bad at maths and physics, you go to literary. Basically it's like that. In here, we have this well, at least that is what I experienced. There is a kind of an unflattering negative bias towards literary people who ended up in the literary class, because it kind of means that they're kind of stupid, you know. Like you didn't get some good grades in maths and stuff, so you probably are not very good at school. That's why you ended up in that class. And people that have a scientific diploma are able to enter any kind of higher education afterwards, which leads to, like, basically you can do most of the jobs afterward. Like, even if you didn't, there are very few jobs that are just pure literary what's the word I'm searching for? Is there a word for that in English? Because I'm not very familiar with English speaking countries. Like, I don't know how it goes in the US or in Britain or anything like that. I just know that our system is pretty similar to the French system, but there are very few jobs that someone with a literary diploma that is exclusive to people that have a literary diploma. Like, most of the I say jobs because people look at your diploma like, what kind of diploma do you have? And if you only have a baccalaureate, a high school diploma, you have a lower chance to enter, like, you know, desirable, higher paying jobs. But if you have a scientific one, you can go anywhere. Like you can get into any kind of university. Like it's the basic requirement. If you have a scientific diploma, you can get anywhere. I had a scientific diploma, and I ended up doing some management. But it was believed that someone with a literary diploma would have a harder time getting into those kinds of schools. And so, even like from a younger age, you are put into those small, convenient boxes, and kind of categorized as a failure or not from the beginning. That's not even without. That's even without without considering what kind of familial background you have. Like, is your family one that is able to pay some stuff, pay the tuition, stuff like that? My parents were able to get me into some private schools, not very expensive ones, but private schools, and I don't remember there being any kids that had scholarships. It didn't seem to be a thing here. But going into private schools, private education is more desirable because it's supposedly of a better quality. Because in public schools, well, first the teachers are barely paid, so they need to make ends meet, and they purposefully sabotage things a bit in order to make the ends meet. And there are very bad things I heard about the public university. Very, very bad things going on. And so I caught my blessings. I didn't have to go through that. But yeah, education is something very important, but it's very far from ideal, unfortunately. But younger generations now have access to internet to a certain degree, which does help open up your mind about reality in other places, what is done somewhere else. I heard there are little kids now that are like, oh, I want to become like Mr. Beast. I personally didn't even know the dude. I only found out about him very recently when my brother was like, oh, Mr. Beast is the YouTuber that has the most subscribers, and I was like, who? But yeah, our younger generations do get a bit more I think have some more opportunities to open up their minds and their worldview, and that is part of why they have the courage, the audacity to try to break out of the mold a bit. People's understanding of the world used to be a lot smaller. It's still new that people can pull out a phone and talk about culture of people around the world. Oh yeah, it's it's still mind-boggling to me. I personally saw, like, I feel like I've seen in very quick successions some like the development of technology. Like, I remember when I was a tiny child but I remember those details. We were still using the phone with the rotating, like, how do you call it? But the thing that rotates for when you want to call a number, you rotate. I found it really fun. I couldn't call anyone because the the bill, but once we stopped using it. We still have that phone, and I played with it, and then I saw those kinds of phones. We still used those when I was a child, and then it turned into the ones with the keypad. As I don't know how I don't know. Do people in your countries still use those kinds of phones, like the home phones? Because we stopped using them once the mobile phones really started to get everywhere. That is something. At least even the people that are categorized into like the less fortunate kind of people. How do you say, like that? Even people that have small jobs, small jobs like selling little stuff, have a mobile phone nowadays, because the operators really made a big effort of selling some models at a very affordable price. So most anyone has a mobile phone with a number attached to it. So I think the home phones and the home phones have practically died, and it's just just in companies where it's just a professional phone, maybe, because we had that in my old job. I think that's where we still find those kind of phones, but everyone turned mobile. There's a wide variety of work in America. It's divided by levels of education. Higher education is necessary to work. It depends on the job. Okay, I see. Yeah. Well, when I say higher education, like, I was talking about higher education because that's the kind, like I said, the kind of desirable jobs. When I was a child, I remember almost every grade I was in, teachers would ask us one by one to tell what kind of jobs we wanted to do later, and all our answers were pretty similar. I want to become a doctor, I want to become a lawyer. Because that's the kind of jobs parents aspire the kids to have later on, and that's passed to kids. We were just weak kids. We didn't know anything. We just knew what was expected of us, and that's the kind of answers we gave. And even up to when I was in higher education, I still gave some answers I didn't really believe in. I talked about it with my brother, like, when I was a child, I kept answering to the teachers, I want to become a doctor. And he was like, oh, I see how much you believed in it, because I didn't even know that. Even when I was in higher education, I was still like, yeah, I'm going to work in pharmacology, something like that. Because that's the kind of thing my family wanted me to do. And so that's the kind of answers I gave. Also, I remember very vividly when I was like, oh, I'd like to sing, and everyone was like, you're not. Well, it's pretty much the song, It's, how much is that even gonna make? Are you for real? And it's kind of even more annoying because there are people that succeeded. It's not like it's something that absolutely doesn't exist, or or very few people do. There are a lot of people that go into music. Well, of course, everyone has something on top of it. Everyone is entrepreneurs, you know, but it's not like the activity itself is not damn it, is not viable. So I remember I was kind of pissed back then when I was still when I was like when I foolishly told people about my little dreams, and people were like, yeah, yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's more the kind of jobs that are considered somehow considered the most viable, the most desirable. Hello Saito, welcome. Oh, Neo. Thank you for dropping by, guys. Yeah, welcome. With high school diploma, you start off very low in the job market, but then there's options through night courses or job-related courses, so you can raise up to management, but not as high paying as some higher education. Yeah. That is a practice that is done here too. But obviously your parents, if they can make the effort, they'll try to send you to higher education and expect you to end up with a certain list of jobs that are considered desirable. Hello Sneezewiz, welcome, thank you very much for dropping by. Rotary phone, yeah. Had one like that in a house. Honestly, I remember, like I said, it boggles my mind how much of the technology I saw just changing over time. I am barely 3 decades old, and I've seen so many things change in a very in that small amount of time. It's really mind-boggling. Landline phones pretty much died out in common houses. In here, there's not any more of those. I think it's just in companies, in big companies too, not like small startups and stuff. Imagine it has done extremely well in Madagascar. Well, like little kids in my neighborhood sing it a lot. I hear it playing a lot. That's how I came to know it, because I personally am not very like I don't listen to radio, and I don't watch local TVs anymore. Not because it's it's just that the more time went, the more I became disinterested in the political situation that is getting worse and worse. Our lives are already pretty shitty as it is. Like, life in general is pretty shitty as it is. So with time I was just like and then I just kind of stopped listening to radio and local TV. And so I'm not like I come to know of Malagasy songs through my acquaintances who recommend them for me to listen if there is anything they want me to listen to. But you get along with people who have same tastes, and I listen to metal, so oh, but there are some metal bands, some local metal bands that are pretty nice. It's funny because like most of the time I'm like, oh, our poor little backwater country, and then there are stuff that are like, wait, this exists here. It's a very paradoxical country. It has its charms. It has its charms. Viewer, you will say hello, welcome, thank you very much for dropping by. was able to pursue anything but you wanted, but never had a dream or desire for one thing in particular. Oh, a lot of people are like that too. The only thing an American like you knows about Madagascar is Queen Naval. Ah, you know of Queen Naval? How did you? I'm very curious. How do you know about her? And people hardly do with TVs in general nowadays. In my country, I think it's still pretty watched, but I think people are mostly watching telenovelas nowadays. Because the satellites came in the channels from satellites. Not everyone can at a point, not everyone could afford it, but like I said, there are many, like just like the mobile phones, there were some companies that decided to make offer c'est quoi abonnement en anglais déjà? Oh my god, the words would not come to my mind. Abonnement en anglais. Abonnement en anglais c'est quoi? Damn it. I know the word. Subscription. There are some companies that decided to offer subscriptions to satellite channels for very affordable, much more affordable prices than they used to. And so I think there are like people who have a little TV at home have the satellites. Like if I look outside of my house, I see satellites everywhere on the roofs of my neighbors, stuff like that. And I do not live in a very posh neighborhood or anything like that. Pretty much in the backwater neighborhood too. But things like that, like there are some businesses that see, oh, there is an opportunity, and it really does work. It really does work quite a lot. Quite a bit. It's pretty successful. Nowadays, I don't know how it is, but I know there are like actual local channels that do telenovelas. That goes pretty well. But aside from that, like the subscription, like internet subscriptions, come mostly from mobile, and mostly people are on Facebook because there are some offers at a very low price. Like it used to be 500 area. I don't know how it is now. They stopped doing it. Because Starlink is going to come, and there was some bullshit excuse like it's too low for good competition or something like that. But there used to be a subscription at a very low price that allowed everyone to have unlimited access to Facebook, and that's mostly the internet part where Malagasy people were, like most of the Malagasy people were. Also, stop listening to your nationality songs. Don't really listen to radio or TV. Most music you found nowadays are for friend recommendation, movies, or random YouTube videos. I see. So hey, see it. We are from very different places, but we do share some similarities. Boss, hello, welcome. Thank you very much for dropping by. Viewer just likes history a lot. Frankly, making a joke about the movie was yeah, but it's part of why, I'm trying to do these little talks about my country so that, there are 3-4 people that can come to know that name is not first and foremost a silly movie, animated movie from the early 2000s. Does YouTube keep me from monetization, or is that a Madagascar thing? Madagascar does not even appear. Like, you know, if you check my channel, you'll see I do not have a location. That's because I cannot even choose Madagascar in the locations. Madagascar is not among the countries that have access to the YouTube partner program, and that is why I cannot monetize directly on YouTube. we are pretty much we are pretty much unknown and pretty much not on the map for many services. I was lucky to find Buy Me a Coffee, which does offer me a way to get money. The thing is, for example, stuff like PayPal, we can open a PayPal account only to pay stuff. We cannot receive money. So receiving money from PayPal is out. For example, I checked VGen, the trendy market for finding artists and stuff right now. And I heard from Ryan's, my music producer, that he tried to like get verified or stuff like that on it, and when he finally was able to like open commissions, it turned out he couldn't receive money through VGen. So stuff like that, yeah. Usually you hear people can't use it at all or not. We can pay, but we cannot receive money, yeah. What you knew of Madagascar before you saw my streams? It was a heaven for pirates way back in the day. Yeah, it was French. Yeah, way back in the day, it was a pirate haven. Yeah, I remember there's this pirate movie I saw when I was a child. I don't know the title, or rather, I don't remember the title. But there was it. What was it? Pirate movie. There was like the lead lady was called Morgan. I remember that. She was called Morgan. Cutthroat Island. That is it. There was this movie I saw when I was a child on TV. And at the end, they say, let's go to Madagascar. And I remember I jumped. I stood up like, hey, they talked about Madagascar, because it's just such a, like I guess even as a child I knew nobody knew of our country except maybe France. But I remember I jumped from, was I on the bed or something like that? And I stood up like, what? They talked about Madagascar! And I remember vividly all the, like, there was that, and there is Uncharted 4 that has, happens, a big part of it happens in Madagascar. Like, they didn't actually come here, and they didn't actually, the stuff you see in there is not exactly what it looks like in real life, but it's pretty close. At least they did some research, you know. And when I played the game and I saw the scenery, I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the kind of thing you can see here. Did not expect Cutthroat Island to be mentioned. I remember it just because of that. Because at the end, she was saying, we go to, where we were like, where do we go next? And she was like, we go to Madagascar. Like, I remember those instances where the country was mentioned. Of course, the movie that should not be named. I remember it. I remember it very well. Like, oh, something that actually uses her name. But yeah, we shall not speak of that movie. get the same feeling when your nation is mentioned in movies. A lot of the time it's jokes or misinformation, but still funny. I could tell you that maybe for me it's already a thing to be kind of celebrated when it's even mentioned at all. But then again, when I see Madagascar trending on Twitter, and when I check it out, I am not very happy with whatever the bullshit I see. So maybe it's not that good, but it's maybe it being mentioned is not to be always to be celebrated. Cutthroat Island was pretty infamous in Finland due to the poor perception. It was directed by a Finnish guy. Oh, I I saw it back when I was a child, and I don't even really remember it that much. I kind of remember. I have kind of an image of an image in my mind. I think the actors kind of look like this. But really, it's just that mention of my country that I remember from it. That's all. There's that, and also there was a book I read back when I was in primary school in our school's library. That had I think it was about pirates too, either pirates or I don't know, but there was some it was an adventure in boats, you know. And at some point they came to Madagascar, and there were actually people with actual Malagasy names mentioned in it. And I remember I was like, it's funny because I wouldn't even consider myself like the most patriotic Malagasy people you'd ever find. No, not at all. But it's like, you know, I was kind of happy seeing those things. It was not even like it was a very small part of the adventure, but I remember it. I remember it especially because the names were actually in Malagasy names. I find it funny that Ranaval is like known like, yeah, even here she's infamous, but I find it funny. Like, what do you what is it just because she was infamously very cruel? That, and somehow that went outside of our borders? That's funny. Absolutely the same experience of Finns coming from a fellow small country without many knowings. Well, I know of Finland, and I know the name, you know. I know a few European country names, but I can't tell you any particularities of them. But I know them. I don't remember how I came to know those names. When I was a child, when we were back in, I think it was back in middle school, we played the alphabet game, in which, you know, you have to cite names of countries, objects, food, stuff like that, for every letter of the alphabet, stuff like that. And I think that's part of when I actually got to know of a few names. Or what, I don't know, but I know a few European country names, like as in just as general culture without knowing very much specifics. But honestly, I couldn't tell you how I knew them. What do I think about Samp? You yeah, the Samp. Okay, so the thing is, a large majority of Madagascar are Christian, or became like Christianity is the big religion, and like I said in the last episode, like it's pretty common, that people go to church on Sundays, and the Christian culture took over all that is considered pagan stuff like that. So, and I personally have been, as many kids have been raised in a more or less practicing Christian family, and we were told, and I went to Catholic school, so we were told like no, don't do that. So no, I do not touch those things. Plus, you have to be wary of the kind of powers you do not understand. So yeah, doesn't help that your language is called Danish. Most people know as bread. And you are Danes, which is also a dog. There is a bread. I remember we used to buy at some point when I was younger. It was available in supermarkets, and my parents really liked it. And so I remember the name, and I was like, oh, that is an interesting name. As for dog breeds, I don't think that that one is. There are few breeds of dogs that are commonly known here. Most of our dogs, what we call the Alik Gas. Alik is dog, and Gas is we like to shorten things. We don't say in general, we don't say Malagas, we just say Gas, and so we just call them Alik Gas dogs. They're of mixed races. Most of them are just mutts. You can't even distinguish what kind of breed they were at first. Though if it was here, people wouldn't recognize it for bread or dogs. It would just be okay. Bread. To be fair, bread and dogs are the best things on this planet, so that's too bad. Also a Christian, but wasn't raised that way. Just interested in some are still in vogue as talismans of indeed they are taboo. Seems they are taboo then. Yeah, more like it's not as much used anymore, and it's like I said, since there's a big majority of Christians, it's frowned upon a lot. It doesn't mean that probably in some very far away places, in places where there are some traditions that are still upheld, it might still be there, but it's not something that is widely spread anymore, and it hasn't been for a while. Honestly, it's more something like part of history, like the kind of things you learn because it's part of a heritage, but not something that is as much practiced anymore. You guys did ask a bit about LGBT people, and I had a hard time answering. The thing is, like I said, we're pretty traditional people. Like I said, maybe even there are some things that you can tell, okay, the people are refractory to change, and at the same time, like I said, it's very paradoxical. Like at the same time, there are some pieces of technology that you like, oh wait, this exists here. This is widely spread here. And so to go back to that topic, it's not something that is very spread, and probably will not be super tolerate it, but at least it's not like people won't be violent about it, but just like everything that is out of the usual social norms is gonna be something that will be like why more like that, in stuff like even innocuous stuff like, oh, I want to make a career into this. Your choice of career is something like everyone has something to say about it. Everyone has something to say about it. Just like the song says, we are. I think probably it's something like we believe it's the older generations. They want to force us into the same old mold because, as we say, it's an old custom we didn't find any fault in, so we keep doing it. There are a lot of customs that are really nice, but because Madagascar people valued what we call fiavanan. It's like a big, it's like a mix of brotherhood and like and fellowship. Like it's Madagascar people were really big on keeping the peace with people, helping each other. They valued good relationships with the neighborhood, with the people, like, and in general, especially once foreigners came, with fellow Madagascar people. And so, wait, where was I going with that? What was I saying? I have the same old mold, yeah. And there are a lot of nice customs that are still upheld to this day. Stuff like when there are people that are in need, we try to help them. Simple stuff like when there is someone who died in your family, everyone will come to pay their homage and help in any way they can. Simple stuff like that. But you know, when you're in hard times, any help is important, and those things are still done to this day, like showing that you are here when someone who is more or less close to you is going through hard times. But there are other things that aren't that good. But I think it's not just it. I think it's also heritage from France, because I see talks about the French system, which, like I said, the educational system, which I said, we kind of inherited from. Like mainly we gonna put kids into some tiny convenient little boxes, regardless of what their strengths, what their weaknesses are, condemning them as failures from arbitrary from arbitrary requirements. A lot of stuff like that, a lot of stuff that is tied to education, tied to how a kid is raised and how a kid is expected to end, that I think aren't so good. And I did talk about it with some members of my family recently, like there are some people for which the current system, the system in which they are put, works for them, and other people for which it is not at all a good fit. So I think in general it's just that we lack a lot of flexibility, and now there can be some debate about how it's not it's not surprising that we cannot go further and just keep getting poorer, but there's a lot of stuff at play. It's just that younger generations are always always end up uh, gonna always end up getting the short stick, the short, yeah, short part of a stick. What's the expression again? Okay. From your understanding, Queen Ranavan destroyed the royal sum. Suppose that is what made it taboo then. Oh yeah, she was for sure the end of the stick. Thank you, Saito. Ranaval was what was she? Well, I'm trying to remember my story, my story lesson, my history lessons. I'm trying to remember my history. I think it was back in her time when Christians were persecuted. Not only am I bad with dates, I admit I was like that what we learned about the kingdoms, the royal period here in our country was pretty. There was not a lot. Like there were just a few lines in my history lessons. That's probably partly because I did say it in the last episode when I talked about how our traditions and our history was mostly oral, and so a lot of things just got lost. She was infamously cruel, that one, but also considered like a strong leader. I think there were people that said that if it was her back when France annexed Madagascar, it might not have ended like that. Or I wouldn't know. I wasn't there. But yeah. Is mental illness also treated like that? Mental illness here is like when people think about mental illness, they think about getting interned at the crazy people's place, you know. People are not very much aware of a more subtle kind of mental illnesses, and that is part of why it's even more ravaging. Like people, when someone commits suicide, is people are just like we don't really understand it. And I mean, in general, you wouldn't understand it, but there is very little awareness about different kinds of mental illnesses, and the usual image of it is just something very extreme, because we have people just we can see some people just wandering on roads, and sometimes being violent with you. Like you can tell they're not pretty sound of mind anymore. That's what people think when you talk about mental illness. They are not very much aware of stuff. Nowadays, at least stuff like being autist or having other kinds of conditions like being deaf or being there are starting to be some specialized centers for that, and some associations that are trying to spread awareness about that. But mental illness, I think is not yet, like, awareness about it is not yet very much spread at all. Ali, hello, welcome. I do not think I am able to to read whatever you just wrote. Yeah, Ranaval the first was the one who persecuted the Christians. Yeah, it's when the it was the time of Rasalam, the martyr. A lot of martyrs back then. There were three Ranaval, and there were two Radam. Yeah. Wait. Damn it, I don't remember anymore. Honestly, I'm not very good with history. Back then, I just memorized the stuff for the exams, and that's about it. That's about it. So what was I talking about? I don't know anymore. Yeah, well, in general, I was talking about how kids are placed into little boxes, expected to lead certain lives, go into certain jobs, go into certain schools, and if you deviate from that, you're a naughty kid. But like I said, I think that is very relatable to a lot of people. Like, human societies in general tend to try to normalize a lot of stuff, and while some categories of people would gain from reaching a certain degree of normality, there is also a big amount of normal categories that are just hurting people's lives, mostly. Are Malagasy women the most beautiful of all African women? That is something that is very subjective, I think, mostly because just like standards of beauty vary from country to country, from places to places, not just country, like even the regions to regions. I can tell you that I find some Malagasy women really beautiful, but I don't know. That is something that is kind of pointless to try to determine, I think. Education about mental illness is very likely in most places. Psychology is selectable lectures in higher education, and it isn't part of health education. And learning on the internet can lead to massive misinformation. There is no for example, in here there are no courses about psychology unless you go to higher education to just study that. So yeah, that doesn't help. Yeah. Would it be accepted or seen as taboo for a white man to marry a Malagasy woman? Oh. A lot of young Malagasy girls try to marry a white sugar daddy. It's not taboo, and how do I say this? Like, some might find it morally questionable, maybe. But I think most of the time people will people who will find it questionable, like that practice to be morally questionable, just people that maybe are a bit more well off in life and are sitting on like on a high mighty horses, like feeling like they have a higher moral ground, but many will just do what they need to do to survive. It's not taboo at all. There are a lot of mixed couples. It's not taboo. Some, like I said, some categories of people might find it frownable, but it's not taboo. You need to marry Madagascar women. Honestly, like I said, beauty is a very subjective thing. Because I was raised and born here, my beauty standards are probably influenced by the country's beauty standards. But yeah, like when I type Miss Madagascar, I find them really beautiful. They are really beautiful. At least there's that. No, but there are a lot of really pretty girls, but I mean, isn't that the case everywhere? Honestly. I'm sure there are girls who a lot of girls whose goal is to marry a white man. So as long as you are like, as long as it's consensual and built on honesty, I think it's fine with whatever. What are some of the beauty standards for Madagascar? Well, I think for one, I think maybe being a certain size. Like, yeah. But I don't know how much it has been influenced by like foreign ads on TV. But like we find girls that are more on the thinner side beautiful, I think, maybe. That's the kind of thing that comes to my mind immediately. But I think nowadays, like, modern women are embracing the curves a bit more. There was a time too when people wanted to straighten their hair a lot, because it depends, but we have some curly and very curly hair. And there was a period, I remember, when it was trendy to straighten your hair, and then it came back to, oh, let's just leave them to be curly. Those are trends that just come and go, and just cycle, just loop. I think we don't have like for example, I don't like talking about this, but it's a reality. Like I think it depends on the region. Like if it's a region where people are a bit more melanated, they will prefer that, and vice versa. But we have a wide range of skin tones, while being still pretty. Like for Malagasy people, when you see a Malagasy, you're like, yeah, Malagasy, even though the range of a skin tone is very wide. So I think on that side, there's not like it depends on where you are and the kind of bias a person has. Otherwise, honestly, I don't really know. I don't nothing really comes to mind as something that is more or less universally accepted as a standard beauty here. What I could say is that sometimes when you see someone on the TV, you can tell, yeah, that is probably someone who is considered beautiful for a lot of people. Hey, Mkalux! Hello, welcome! Tungasu? Asking for a friend? What is the custom for marriage and proposal of marriage? Okay, so the Malagasy marriage is a complex custom. Nowadays, it is just used as a kind of like proposal. In general, you would do something like meet the parents, you know, and there is a the traditional Malagasy marriage nowadays is kind of considered like the equivalent of an engagement party, and it usually involves some lengthy kapari, Kabari, which is a complex and beautiful form of speech, a stylized kind of speech that is very typical in the country, and a lot of exchanges of presents. It depends on the family and whether they want to like follow the old tradition really as much as possible or not. Some ceremonies are shorter and others are going with lengthy ones. And then there's the official marriage where you sign the official papers at a, what's it called, the bureau of a district, I guess. Is it district, like the municipal bureau, maybe, the authority that takes care of the marriage. And then there's the Christian ceremony at church, which was very widely done, but I feel like nowadays a bit less. I don't know, it depends. But yeah, those are the 3 steps usually. Yeah, the Malagasy marriage is Vtuber. Varbemenaka, minana varbemenaka venareo manao Vtuber? Do you eat varbemenaka during Vtuber? Varbemenaka ngatsy ohatrany hoe manao famadihana na fifampiarabana tratran'ny taona na ohatr'izany. Am I considered short where I am? Yes, but it's mostly because the kids of my generation were taller, I think. I feel like kids that are younger than me, of a generation after me too, we're we're kind of giants. I don't know, but yeah, in general, I am considered very small, even here. Kind of interesting stuff, like a mixture of Asian marriage customs and Western. Yeah, because the Christian culture took a big part. But then there's still good remnants of the traditional parts. So it's a marriage of it. I'm not sure everyone else is tall. Pretty much, yeah. But being small as I am also, but I also have a pretty youthful face. So nowadays I'm given 10 years. I'm considered 10 years younger. I think for the last 15 years, I have been given roughly the same age. It's pretty funny. But I remember back when I was working at my old job. I mean, back when I was working at my old job. I mean, I was in charge of a certain project, and I had only my contact in the other company only ever had interactions with me through the phone, and they were like, yes madam, yes madam, yes madam. And then when we finally met face to face, I like, it was really funny. They were taken aback, and like I could see the shock on their face, like oh, I won't call you madam anymore. But I remember, yeah, my brother told me I have a very different voice when I'm in professional mode. And so I don't know, that person had a certain image of me, and when they saw me in real life, they were like, I don't know. Apparently, my voice. Like you see my model. Do you hear, like, when you hear my voice, it corresponds, right? No, I think it does. I think I look like my voice, at least. But it's not like I'm in any mode apart from being over here, so I don't know. What else? We're talking about customs. Do you have other questions or stuff like that? Never thought my model and voice didn't match. Perfect. I worked hard on that model, even if it doesn't look like it. It's funny because the thing is, I was like, okay, I decided to become a VTuber. I was like, okay, let's try to make our body. And I'm very much an amateur artist. Like, I always loved drawing, but I knew early on that it wouldn't amount to much. I didn't really intend for it to go anywhere. But I really liked drawing. It was one of my hobbies. So I was like, yeah, I might as well do it myself. Plus, when I looked online, it was like, oh, you're looking at something like $1,000 to make a model. I don't have that kind of money. Are you for real? I'll do it myself. So I did it myself. and I learned to rig it myself too. And when I did it, I was like, yeah, no, we don't need to go too far. Like, this is okay. Turn a bit here, turn a bit there. Now I'm like, oh. Yeah. So I am currently looking into finally upgrading this poor model. I put a goal on my buy me a coffee page if you're interested to chip in a bit, if you're interested. But I'm finally looking into trying to upgrade this pool model, especially since the other day my brother was saying, no, it's a good idea because you tend to move a lot and that does not translate. So you see me, I'm moving a lot more. I'm very animated when I talk, so yeah, it's kind of sad. So I'm looking into finally upgrading it. Hopefully we'll finally have a V 2.0 Nova for my 3rd anniversary. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm trying to make that work. I mentioned how I felt about my voice yesterday, but my singing is good. What did I say about my voice yesterday? I don't remember that. Oh, but thank you very much. That is very kind of you. No, I want more. Yeah. No, I want more. I wasn't expecting this model to last me for this long. Honestly, when I started VTubing, I was just like, hey, this looks like an activity that would work for me because it makes use of all the stuff that I like, you know. I always wanted to sing, and drawing was my hobby. I like playing games. Might as well try. I was like that. And I did talk about it a bit in earlier episodes of Nova Talks, but the first year was very rough. And even though I didn't have like super high expectations, things were rougher than I had anticipated, and I was also always sick, so the first year was very rough. The second year finally started to a tiny bit see a bit of results, so and then this year I really started to like stream in consistently enough. Last year I think I did like just a few streams. I think I did continue streaming last year, but I streamed Prince of Persia: The Warrior Within, and that game broke me. That game broke me, and at the end of I did one stream, and at the end of that stream, I did several streams of that game. I didn't finish it on stream, but I did several streams, and at the end of, I don't know, the 4th or 5th stream, I just broke, and I just stopped streaming. The game broke me. And then I streamed again. I went back to streaming a bit towards the end of 2023, and now I've been consistently streaming, and I discovered, hey, I really like this. This is fun. So as much as like I wanted to try it out because I thought maybe this can amount to something, you know, even just for me, for my own enjoyment. Turns out I really like this. So I really want to just be able to make a living out of it. The good thing is, because my currency is so weak, the currency of my country is so weak, even just what wouldn't be enough to make a decent living in, say, the US, would be enough for me to make a decent living. Like I don't need as much. Because the cost of life here, if we compare it to something like in the US, is much less. So plus, you know, it kind of feels like, hey, wouldn't it be nice if I could make it work? If I can make it work, it means others can too, and it means it opens up another kind of opportunity for other kids in my country. You know, you can do it too, kids. You want to become like Mr. Beast, you can try. Stuff like that. It kind of feeds a bit into my small ego. Like, wouldn't it be nice? Well, of course. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, no, I intend to really give it my all. Once I can say that once I put my mind to something, I make it happen. But it's only when it comes to stuff that solely depends on me. This does not solely depend on me at all, so we'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm finding some much needed satisfaction and enjoyment doing what I do now. So that's something that is very important. That's something that I honestly didn't think I would be finding. So yeah. Prince of Persia, you got Nova Never Again. I finished the game off stream, you know, because I said on stream, I said, oh, I'm gonna finish this, and so I did, and it was utter shit. Oh my god, that was the worst time I had playing a game, and you some of you might have seen me explode a bit on stream from time to time. But that time, that game broke me. I couldn't finish it on stream anymore. I was just too angry and depressed at the same time. It was a terrible cocktail. And I finished the game, and once I finished it, I was like, I bought the game $2 on Steam because it was on sale. I bought it $2 and I regretted it. Those $2 could have gone to something more useful. It was just misery. It was just pure misery. Oh my god. I've never felt that bad about a game in my life. It was really weird. How easy would it be for an American to live in Madagascar? Do a lot of people speak English? No. Not a lot of people speak English at all. But if you're willing, you can probably just pick up a bit of the language. Would be easier for someone who speaks French, but not necessarily by much, because not everyone speaks French either. Wait, you can actually get something useful for $2. I can get sneakers for that. Those $2 could have gone to something more useful. I wasted them. No, but and then I played the third. I played Prince of Persia, the Two Thrones. That one I played when I was much younger, 20 years ago. And that one I finished back then, and I wanted to revisit it because nostalgia was kind of my whole shtick, you know? And it wasn't like I had some very for once I really had some rose tinted glasses about that game, because I remember it being such an experience when I was a child. Tagged him in with my brother to finish it. And when I did play it again recently-ish, it was okay. Well, it didn't make me explode like like the Warrior Within. The Warrior Within I never played. I didn't play it. So I didn't have any rose-tinted colored glasses at all. I just was curious because I thought this is probably the same kind, like. They look very similar, like gameplay wise. Basically, the Two Thrones is just a more polished version of the Warrior Within. But the Warrior Within has this, dark and edgy aesthetic, I thought. And so I was like, hey, that's my thing. I'm gonna try it out. I really like Two Thrones. And I spent a very miserable time playing the game. I've never resented my nostalgia as much. Revisit went pretty good. Yeah, it's only those because I tried. I replayed loads of EverQuest, which I honestly have not really stop playing along the years. And Sacred was pretty nice. The expansion I wasn't really a fan of, but the base game was really fun. That one also cost me $2. I also bought it $2, but those were well spent $2. Are there natural disasters in Madagascar? Well, there are cyclones that can pass through the country from time to time. There are cyclones in the Indian Ocean, and sometimes they do be visiting, but it's very rare. Like if you live in the capital, in the highlands, it's very rare for cyclones to get towards the center, and even less. Even if they do pass through there, they already lost a lot of their strength along the way. But on the coast, it's pretty rough. Usually the east and the north that are hit, but it depends on where the cyclones originate. But that's it. All volcanoes are all dead, so there's nothing of that. And even though sometimes we do have some small tremors, but it's never anything serious. So no serious earthquakes, just some small tremors from time to time. And the cyclones, it's really just the cyclones. And well, like I said, they do some damage, but that's because our infrastructure is not really we barely can eat every day, so yeah, and the government is preoccupied with other things. No tsunamis either, no. You won't find that happening much. It's really just the cyclones. It's really just the cyclones. Yeah, no, honestly, like if you have some money, you can live decently enough. If you have some money and you don't depend on the National Electric Company for your electricity or water, you're fine. Because the National Electric Company is having a hard time just providing the service they're supposed to provide. But there are no big disasters. There is a season for cyclones, and you just have to be wary then. But you have, if it comes, it comes, and otherwise it's fine. It's very rare for it's very rare for cyclones to do very important serious damage. There are damages, especially on, like I said, on the coast, but it's actually rare for it to be serious, very serious, like for the whole country. And we don't have any super dangerous animals either, apart from the crocs maybe. We have some venomous spiders and scorpions, but that's not the kind of thing you're gonna find anywhere. So yeah, honestly, there's not much. And I mean, people might. It depends on people, but some might be a bit wary of foreigners. But you depending on the region, you typically won't be met with violence or anything like that. Plus, we do need tourism to go well, because that's part of what makes a lot of regions money. So honestly, there are a lot of like French who live here, stuff like that. So honestly, it's fine. And like I said, there are not like we checked last time. we are not that many people. We have like 44 inhabitants per kilometer square, so yeah, it's very wide, not overpopulated at all. Feels, and we don't have any, like, temperatures tend to be more on the warm side. I don't know if we've ever reached 50 degrees C anywhere. 40 degrees C, it can be reached in some regions, but in general, but we you don't see, we don't see any snow. Lower temperatures, like in the coldest parts of a country, you can maybe get close to 0, but never lower. So it's rather warm. How about insects, mosquitoes? Yeah, well, there's a lot of that because it's warm and humid. So there is a lot of that, yeah. But you can use insecticides or how do you call it? The I use that every day now. It's like a small tent in which you sleep, so that mosquitoes don't get in. What's it called in English? Does that exist for you? Does that exist? Moustiquaire en anglais. What's it called? Mosquito nets. Oh, okay. It's pretty literal. Mosquitoes, don't know why, but they love my blood. There are some people like that. I know that if I'm sitting in a place where there are a lot of mosquitoes, most of them are probably gonna come and bite me. How big is my house? I have no idea. How I don't know. I am bad with distances and measurements, so I don't know. It's just it's a middle-sized house, I think. It's not very big. Is it typically more humid or just hot? We have 2 seasons. The warm and humid seasons, in which we have rains, and right now it's the cold and dry season. It depends on where you are. On the coast, it would probably be typically more humid, especially on the east coast. But in the capital, it's not that humid unless it rains, obviously. Well, at the same time, I haven't been anywhere else. I went on a family vacation in Mauritius, but that's about it. So I don't know how humid or not it is in other countries, though. But for me, for my standards, it's not humid where I live. So, like, the air is not humid. Typically humid. Typically too humid. How big is my tent? It's enough to cover my bed so I can sleep comfortably without getting bit by mosquitoes. But I do hear them sometimes. They're trying to get in. How do I travel? By car, bus, plane when going on holiday? I always travel by car because we can get everywhere mostly by car. And then sometimes you have to like go traverse some bodies of water, and in which case there will be some boats or something like that. But in the country you can get most anywhere by car. And I only ever go in vacation if I can go on vacation here in the country. Like I said, it was a single opportunity in my life where we went to Mauritius, and it was by plane. I went by plane like a handful of once, no, but yeah, we were once, was that once, twice with family, and the rest was for professional reasons, so paid by the company. That's about it. I'm not rich, guys. I can't. I'm not rich. I grab opportunities when I can, but opportunities don't really. There's not a lot of them. I haven't gone on vacation for 4 years now. Since COVID, we stopped going on vacation. We didn't have any opportunity to anymore. Is that my maid? My maid? You heard it about? Huh? My maid? I don't have any maid. What? What is a maid? Huh? Maid? When you say maid, I think of the amazing anime. What are you talking about? Just trying to see how's life over there. Fly a lot when going long distance here. Ah, yeah, no. Well, I mean, there are planes that go to each major cities, but it's pretty expensive, so we just go by car. It was a joke, rich people having housemates. Oh. Well, you see how well that joke went. I didn't even understand it. It's more common to go just by car. Only rich people get to go by plane. Well, they did add a soccer. How do you call it? We did add. There is a national flying company called Air Madagascar, and they added a is it a child company? No, not, they don't employ children, but a company. A company like Air Madagascar is a parent company. How do I say this? A company that has that serves the domestic flights. It was supposed to be a bit more affordable, but yeah, it's still pretty expensive. Oh god. Thank you very much for the beats too. about 45k. Aria, does that make me rich? Sadly no, but thank you so much. But we thank you so much. It will allow me to buy. I'm guessing it will allow me to buy more than what you can get with that amount of money in dollars. So thank you very much. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Really, it really surprises you how much smaller some countries are compared to America. We're not that small though. Like as in size wise, we're not that small. But the US of America are different. Like from my point of view, the US of America are like several countries that decided to be a big one instead of I don't know how to say it. Okay, so reminder of the rules. I'm not comfortable with like sexual stuff, so if you're trying to do some roleplay right now, please knock it off, okay? Child company, subsidiary. Thank you. I was searching for the word subsidiary. Madagascar is about the same size as California. I have no idea what the size of the countries in like I know for a fact that many European countries are much smaller than us, but aside from that, I don't know. We don't have much dealings with like we don't have any reasons to compare sizes with like the US, so it's United States. Yeah, exactly. Like for me, it's kind of like several countries, but considered as a big one. But it's I don't know of any other country that has the same kind of system. So California, really? It's pretty big. Yeah, I understand why you'd go by plane typically. Yeah. Like I said, the only other country I visited was Mauritius, and it's a tiny island next to us. So you can do the tour of the whole island in a matter of a few hours. While here to go to like the farthest, like I live in the capital, so we're more or less smack dab in the center. In order for us to go to like the farthest north city or the farthest south city, it takes several days. So yeah. But you know, see, that's the kind of standard I have. I can only compare to what I see close. So I have no idea what kind of sizes states in the US America are. That's pretty interesting. Huh. Which is the biggest state in the USA? Is California a reasonably sized one, or is it a small one? Alaska. Oh, okay. I see. Is there a sport discipline in Madagascar that is popular or considered national sport? Oh, football. Soccer for the for the Americans. Football. And rugby is pretty popular too. Those are the like football is the most popular in rugby. But I think football, soccer is pretty popular most everywhere. If it's not the first popular, the most popular sport, it's probably up there, I think. Well, I don't know. I don't know much about sports. I'm not a very sporty person. Plus, like I said, when was it? During the Portia stream, I was exempt from PE early on, so wish Google Maps has more street view of my town. Is there African Championship? Well, the African Championship. Well, there's the African Cup for football. And there are also like you know, the equivalent to the Olympic Games, but just for the small the islands here in the Indian Ocean. That is which organization is handled by turn by the islands here. Alaska is about 3 times the size of Madagascar, but it's mostly empty. Oh, interesting. But you say that, but Madagascar is mostly empty too. Madagascar is mostly empty too. There was a time when we were covered in forests. That is one of the things that we deplore, that there are not as many forests anymore. But when it comes to survival, you don't really like when it's a question of being able to eat today, don't really think about what impacts it will have tomorrow. So yeah. What is the best way to flirt with a Madagascar wood? I don't know, dude. I cannot represent anyone here. I don't know. I have no idea. Do we have drive cars? Drive car? What do you mean by drive cars? Well, that's the beginning of your answer. What do you mean by drive cars? Drive cars. What is a drive car? Drive cars. Is it something like taxis or something like that? Car rentals? Is that it? Like operate a car? Do I drive a car? I have a license, but I do not because of some trauma. I got into a car accident when I was younger, and my trauma just got worse with time. And it just culminated when I started driving myself, and so I just stopped driving. What is the best way to keep a Madagascar wife or girlfriend happy? What makes them? Honestly, I think it's probably not that different from other women. You'll stay away if you decide to visit the city. Well, it's kind of like if you check circulation videos in stuff like India or over Southeast Asian countries, it's a tiny bit less chaotic. How old do you have to be to drive a car? 18 years old. We receive our national identity card at 18 years old, and we can apply for lessons at that time too. You were here asking about pointers about how to keep a girlfriend. Honestly, dude, I don't know what they think. I don't know if there is like a common trait that girls of my country would like. I don't know. I don't know. I've always been a weird one out. So on that front, on many fronts, unless it's something that is a bit on the common sense side here, I probably cannot help you much. If you're curious about the like common known things, I can help you, but otherwise and even then I'm still pretty clueless. I'm pretty clueless on a lot of things. But it's because I think I consider it's probably just because I'm interested in specific stuff, and the rest I'm just indifferent to. So but it also makes me have like weird know some weird tidbits of trivia. In I wouldn't have come to know otherwise, just because I was curious about a particular topic. But yeah. I don't know. I don't think I have a typical or an atypical laugh. You'll find a wide variety of laughs here. Probably. Just like everywhere else. What kind of questions are you asking? What kind of questions are you asking? Oh. Man's shooting his shot. Oh wow, you know, I respect people shooting the shots, but I'm sorry, I'm on the subject, I'm probably not the most helpful. Yeah. Do you guys have more questions? We're almost at 2 hours. I don't know if I think we won't be able to like go very long, cause like I say, we're on battery. I don't know how long we can go still. Do you guys have other questions? Waiting to see the other guys' moves on YouTube. Is the power out from yesterday, or it go out again today? It went out again today. Apparently, the explanation is they're pretty much under capacity right now. Because like I said, it's the cold and dry season, and like most of the power, I don't know the clear distribution of the sources, but they use a hydraulic turning electricity from water. They have that, and right now, since it is the dry season, the rivers are very low, very dry, close to being dried out, if they are not already dried out. So, and they do use fuel, but that can't really cover as much. So it's been a while since they had the need to. These are planned and recurring power outages. Basically, they just cut the electricity in turn for different neighborhoods, so that they can supply a certain amount at least. So right now it's just that happening. Right now it's a big investment, but if possible, people are trying to get solar power. That's at least there's that, but it's a big investment. Hydropower, yeah. Have I ever seen snow? No, never. There is no snow here. that is something I'd like to see once in my life, but there is no snow here. Even in our tallest mountains, I don't think there is any snow. Because our tallest mountains go... damn it! The tallest peak here is oh my god! I'm bad with history, but I'm also bad with geography. I'm even worse with geography. Damn it! But yeah, there is no snow here. There is no snow here. Marmukht is barely. It doesn't even reach 3 kilometers high. Wait, sometimes it's written Marmukht and sometimes it's written Marmukht. Unless my teachers back in primary school were just wrong. Well, there are different ways to write a name. Not sure I can handle the cold that comes with snow. There's that too. There is that too. I am very bad with cold, so I might just die from it, from the shock of it. How difficult was it to get everything I need for streaming? Well, the thing is, like I said, I already I was of a mind of doing something that has to do with singing anyway, so I actually bought my mic before I intended to stream. Because I wanted to record songs, and you have damn it! Voilà, c'est quoi un magasin déjà? Oh my god! Magasin en anglais. Damn it. A store. We have stores that sell materials that have to do with like audio materials. There are a lot of those. And then the webcam on which I track my model wasn't very like it was like I think, relatively speaking, it wasn't that difficult. Like there are a lot of stuff that we can find by searching on Facebook, actually, because there are a lot of people that sell stuff via Facebook, and it's much more affordable than if you were to try to find it yourself online. The PC was one I had already bought for myself earlier, and the webcam, the mic, it wasn't that bad. Plus I have a tiny room, so there's not too much echo. The only thing is I try to like close all curtains and stuff like that, because it's a bit noisy in the neighborhood, but I think we don't hear much background noise on the stream. Nothing too bad, I think. It was relatively easy, I think, or not too difficult, at least. But I was already of a mind of like investing a bit on some like minimal material like that, slowly, with a little money I had saved up on my previous job. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. And no, honestly, even the capture card I use for for streaming on my PS4, from my PS4, was weird. I don't remember how much it cost, but it didn't cost, like when I was checking stuff like the Elgato ones or whatever on the internet, because I was like, yes, probably not. That's probably not available. Probably I might have to try to buy it on the net and find someone who can send it to me. There are services that do that. But in the end, I found one via Facebook. There's a lot of stuff that we can find nowadays. Like I said, it's really funny. That's the paradoxical part of it. Like we're a very backward country, and like there's a lot of stuff and like, yeah, probably we're not gonna find it here, but when you do find it. In the end, it wasn't as bad as I thought. As bad as I thought. The only really annoying part is my inability to access, to be able to monetize and to access platforms that everyone frequents in order to try to sell stuff to or get to make commissions. Talked before about how delayed certain things was to get imported, such as Game Boy. Such had gotten better since I was a kid. Yeah, the gaming industry, like the video games, didn't arrive here by any, let's say, official channels. much later. Like very recently now, we started to be stores that actually were able to get legit the games. But before that, it was stuff like we didn't like the first console that was able to come here was the PlayStation, the first PlayStation, and I don't know how. It was probably just most of the stores are like, okay, people that have some connections and are able to get the merchandise here, but that's not very widely spread. So the first console that actually arrived here was the PlayStation, the first PlayStation. But I think they were probably but the games that arrived here were not the official ones. Like once people knew to pirate and copy CDs, and that's the kind of CDs that arrived here. There were really, if ever, any actual CDs from the official stores that arrived here until very recently. So what I played, stuff like Super Mario and all that, were the counterfeit. I don't know if you guys know that, but those were the kind of things that arrived here, the merchandise that arrived here, the counterfeit consoles, the police stations. We have the games on one single cartridge. How long does it take to buy stuff online? The thing is, there is no shipping. Like, for example, if I was to buy something on Amazon, they don't ship here, so we go through third parties. Usually it's like small stores that are buying stuff, and you can buy from them. But that's why I like stuff that is like not material, because I can be online and get it immediately instead of trying to find a little store that has something like that. I did buy my drawing tablet that way, but via a third party, because I couldn't, like, if I tried, I searched on like I said, on Amazon, but they don't ship here. So I had to go through a third party. Honestly, when I was a kid, legit hacked copied games were very much easy to get. Yeah, like I said, everything was pirated. That's what arrived here. We didn't have any official stuff. Even the stuff that passed on aired on TV probably were just pirated stuff. Like when we saw a movie, it was probably not, there was probably no rights or what happening, but at the same time we're like, who cares? We're barely anyone knows about the country. We're not on the map. Half the games had on the PS1 were black and white because pirated stuff didn't play in color for some reason. Oh, well, I had cousins that had the PlayStation 1, and well, the games played fine. Well, I'm guessing they were pirated, but so that means that the consoles themselves were modified to play those games too. Cause well, I don't know. Because I didn't buy the games myself, not the console, I don't remember how much it cost. I don't know how much it cost them. My cousins weren't super rich or what. we were all just like middle in families mostly, but they were able to buy it. But I don't think they bought the games very. Like, I don't think the games are official. But at the same time, there were select things that I had a sense of price for when I was younger. So I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know actually. Third party sounds expensive. Yeah, they take a cut. They'll ask for fees for the service. Yeah. What about the internet service? Is it any good? Well, right now we are using the optic fiber from well, there's a big cable coming from the south, I think. Yeah, the south. And Starlink is starting to arrive here. I'm told the quality is pretty much the same probably, and the price too probably is gonna be more or less the same. Like the connection itself is fine because there are like it's not super widely present. How to say it? Not that many people have access to it yet. But the thing is, we are very far from a lot of servers, so I always have lag and stuff like that happening. I can't even stream on Twitch directly. I have to go through Restream. Well, it works out because I'm multi streaming, but yeah. When I tried to stream on Twitch early on, I couldn't, and I had to try to find other relay servers to go through it. So that gives you an idea. Like the connection is fine on its own, but we are far from everything. So like if you have to play a game that has servers somewhere, it will always be very far. And then just streaming services also have their servers very far. But it's fine on YouTube though. I guess there's that. It's fine on YouTube. I'm able to stream on YouTube fine without needing to go through a relay server. I won't retire when no Amazon and like internet. If you want to be a bit removed from the modern life, it works fine. It works fine. There are very quiet and picturesque places, but if you want to continue living with, if you can't live without the modern conveniences, it might be a bit harder, especially if you were used to have it. I'm used to life how it is now, but I can't really, I don't have a point of comparison with how it works elsewhere, really, in practice. Can get monetized on YouTube as well. I guess it's probably like to to get monetized on YouTube, you have to make an AdSense account, and probably I don't know how that works, but yeah, we're not among the countries that have access to the YouTube Partner Program. At some point, my brother and I wondered if it had anything to do with PayPal, but I don't think it is. It's just that both we have very limited access to both. And it's funny because I cannot get monetized, I cannot pay on YouTube either. Like, if I wanted to become a member of someone's YouTube channel, I can't pay anything. And I can't even check the memberships. No, but thank you very much for for funding the Nova activities. I really appreciate it. Like I said, the goal now is to be able to eventually make a living out of this. We are gonna be able to do that with the current numbers, but there's some hope. There's some hope. If the thing right now, the thing I'm gonna do is continue, just continue putting more effort, trying to raise the quality where I can, when it's possible. And we're just gonna try to, attract more people. The more people there are, the more chances there are of people being able and willing to fund the Nova activities. So that's what we're gonna do, is all. But it does not mean that you are like, it does not mean that you are forced to do it. Absolutely not. Like, if you can and are willing, you can make some small donations, but otherwise it's fine. I'll continue doing this for free here. that's the delicate part of this whole content creating thing. Is like, I think for those who are able and are willing, it must come. There's some sort of good feeling, though. I think, thinking of how you're helping a small, like, that small creator, help them. I think maybe, I don't know. I'm feeling like maybe I'm feeling like that's how I would feel if I was in a position where I could also do something like that on a regular enough basis. Like when I buy like an indie game, for example, or I don't know, buy some merch from the Holostars, if I'm able to, I'd feel like this feel good. Feels good because you have a feeling of most of it going to a person, and it feels a bit more personal than a bit more personal than going to big corporate companies. Maybe, I don't know. There's this kind of feeling here. That's why I'm saying this. But I think it exists pretty much anywhere now. This feeling of enmity against the big corp and wanting to get behind the small guy. But I think it's always that, like, it's the whole the little underdog is more endearing and relatable. Maybe. When is my third anniversary? My third anniversary is on the 24th of January. Basically, I opened my Twitter account and revealed my model on the 30th of December 2021, but I didn't do anything yet. And the 24th of January 2022 was when I released my song. You know, the one that plays at the beginning of every stream. So that's what I consider to be the beginning of my activities, really. So that's what I consider to be my anniversary, which also happens to be the anniversary of the YouTube channel. Do I have an iPhone or an Android. I'm using an Android because I don't feel like an iPhone is. At some point, my mother had the opportunity to buy me a small iPod, but it was such a pain. The whole Apple, the Apple products have to like be used only with Apple products and all of that, and I just felt like and well, I it's my personal bias, but I don't have much sympathy for Apple products. Maybe like it's the mark of the rich people. Well, I'm not judging anyone that has them, but like it's the brand itself that kind of and I don't really have. I like things that are convenient and practical, and it doesn't really go with that. But I know it's like the best option for the tracking of the model, but the webcam works fine enough now, and I and the thing is, I would maybe buy a second-hand iPhone, but at the same time I'm like, would I really do that just for that? Just to track my model? It works fine. And well, I don't know if I'd find one in a very good state here. I don't know. Well, I have some negative bias, and I just find the going Android the most convenient and practical for me, so I just go with that. Family disowns you for not having blue text. I don't know. If what is it? Now, if I was just given one, I'd say, I'll use it, you know. If there's a whole opportunity cost to it for me. I'm using Windows because that's the most convenient for me, and what else? For face tracking of Apple, it also needs to be somewhat new. Something about need a specific processor or core thing to run VTube Studio. This is gonna be, it's probably gonna be a whole bunch of headaches for me again. Yeah, no, I'll just continue as is. Like, I also try to choose my investments, you know. That I was thinking that at least a model upgrade would be a good idea as far as investments go, because right now I think gear wise I'm fine enough. I can continue like this for now, but if I was to upgrade, it was probably the model, so that's why I decided to upgrade the model. Because there's the whole thing about let's try some marketing, but where do I even start, and how, and is it really even worth all the money I'm gonna sink into it? Because when it comes to entertainment, you like what you like, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something, especially when it comes to like small creators, small streamers, YouTube content creators. I think a big part of it is like the feeling of authenticity, and so which does not mean that I'm gonna take this lightly and just go sloppily about things, but at the same time, yeah, well, what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to choose my investments, and for now, an iPhone is not it. We'll see down the road if I come to the conclusion maybe it's time to go that way. But honestly, I think the best thing would be for the software to just branch to be available on the other types of devices instead of just Apple devices. What would I upgrade if a model was taken care of? I don't know, because I was like, the model is gonna take a while for me to to even like secure. So I I pretty much just was let's take care of a model first and then we'll see. And I was checking VGen for commissions. I went through the whole catalog, or what feels like the whole catalog, to try to find something that would be qualitative and affordable enough for me. I can't go directly towards the very high range stuff, but at the same time I wanted it to be a bit significant, not just not something that is pretty much the same as what I was able to achieve. So there was all that. I honestly didn't think that far, because I was thinking it's already gonna be quite a mountain to climb to upgrade it. If the model was taken care of, I don't know what next step I would take. Honestly, I don't know what next step I would take. Looking forward to what I'm coming up with. I hope it will be at least enjoyable for you to watch. A smoother Nova moving on screen. It's as much for you as it is for me. Well, it's mostly for you, honestly, because I don't actually watch myself on the screen match. You guys are the ones that do, so I want it to be a bit more enjoyable, Honestly, I don't know. I tell you, I'm not the kind of person who does plans, and that's always have been my answer to anything anyone was asking of. When back at my old job, during like evaluations, I was asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I was always like, I don't know, I don't project myself that far. I'm saying that, but I have all my covers lined up for up to like February of next year. I'm the most famous person from Madagascar. Oi, too. You just hey. You're not supposed to talk about that. You're not supposed to. You know what? You get. I am not joking with that rule. I'm not joking with that rule. I'm not famous, though. But I think I can confidently say that I'm the first Vtuber from Madagascar. Hey, you get the mute. Where do I mute you? Where's? Wait. No. Time out. You get a timeout. We do not. We do not joke about that. It went. It's automatic. 600 seconds of timeout for you. No. I don't joke about the rules. Overs have been bonked. You will get the bonk too. Have covers lined up for no over plans. Yeah, I'm pretty much like I consider those to be like it's very short term plans, It's just the planning for like it's like planning your tasks at work for the next, like what projects do you have to take care of, and so what do you need to do in the coming weeks or months, I consider it like that. However, I have a hard time. I didn't consider what I would be upgrading if my model was taken care of. When my model is taken care of, I will upgrade it for sure. I will upgrade it. The thing is just I need to secure the funds is all. I'm trying to be very careful with my funds because I have made a few investments, and on the side for other ventures, and I can't be careless right now, because otherwise I'll be red with my banks. So I have to be very careful. So I just went like, okay, let's do the model, because I think that's at least a significant enough change, you know, quality wise. So I'm hoping you like it at least. At the very least, I should have some smoother movements. What? Eh? 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 Wait, oh my god! Is this a joke? Is Oh my god! Oh my god, thank you so much! Oh my god! Oh, thank you so much! Oh! Oh! Thank you so much! Oh my god! I just started the call today. I didn't. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh. Okay. The model is getting upgraded for sure. Thank you so much. Oh my god. I need to make it. To make sure it's really worth it. Oh, thank you so much. Oh no. Oh. I see. What do I plan to do? I will have to think about it then. Oh my lord. Thank you so much. The model is definitely getting updated. What am I gonna do? I am going to think very seriously about what of the things I can make better. Oh my lord, thank you so much. I simply do not have words. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Now we get to see Nova movements, right? Oh my god. Yeah. Nova will seriously think about what other things, what next goal I'm going to work towards, so that I do not just yeah. Okay, this is alright. I'm sorry, Nova stopped working for a bit. Yeah, thank you so much. I will definitely make the most of the upgrade. Oh god. Okay. I'll seriously think about it. Okay. What are we gonna do? Do you guys have more questions? To his got the bong for 600 seconds. How long has it been? Oh my god. I just timed him out, right? I didn't ban him by accident. No, it's just time out. So I didn't get to choose though. It's supposed to be 5 minutes. but it went 600, so longer than 5 minutes. This is the first time I'm typing out someone on Twitch. I'll check out how to do that. Oh god. Oh my god. But yeah, thank you so much for the support. And yeah. Okay, do you guys have more questions? Whatever. Not on top of your head, but just existed to see the upgraded model. You hopefully you will see it. Hopefully you will see it. Oh god. No, 600 seconds, not 10 hours. Wait. Not 10 hours, it's seconds. It's 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes. It should be free. It should be 5 minutes. He got twice the bonk. I'm kind of sorry for that, but I didn't think it would. On YouTube I could choose. I could choose the timeout. Oh my god. I'm a mess. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't joke about the rule, but I didn't know it would go that long. Is there no way for me to like choose the amount, the timeout? Oh my god. I'll check it. I'll check it later. Can I untime you out? How long has it been? Oh my. What is this? No. It's 600 seconds. It's 10 minutes. Oh. Okay. Yeah, English. I can't English. Most of the time I can't English. like sometimes I feel like it's a lie if I say I'm fluent, but at the same time, apparently apparently the definition of fluent is you don't end up like you're not hesitating when talking. But I spend my time just thinking about, oh wait, I know this word. What is this word? What am I trying to say? How do I say this? Apparently I can undo it by timing out for 0 seconds. How long has it been? Let's untime him out. Untiming, but how do I do that? Wait. Timing out for 0. Is there like timeout? Oh my god. I just used the, what's it called? Does it work like that? What? My god, no! That's not that! No! What? That's not what I meant! I'm trying to untime out! That's not what I meant! I'm trying to untime you out! Because 10 minutes is too long! It's supposed to be 5. I can't Twitch. I'm so sorry. I can't Twitch. What is this? Oh no! I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I was just trying to untime you out. Why is this Monkas? Eh? Unban? I unbanned him, but I'm trying to. I unbanned him. It's written there. Unban. Why? I I typed timeout 0 seconds. Why did it ban him? I typed timeout. Temporarily ban a user? Eh? Timeout is ban a user? I thought it was mute. I thought that he's back. Welcome back. I'm so sorry I can't Twitch. My god! I didn't know timeout was banning. Eh? Is it the same thing on YouTube? when I was typing out, hey, it's a joke rule. It's just no, it's a serious rule. Hello, welcome. You arrived right in the middle of Nova, completely losing it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry too. I can't Twitch. I thought it was just I'm going to seriously study whatever those comments mean. I had a certain understanding, and I think it was completely wrong. Oh my god. Welcome back. I'm sorry. I guess that will make other people not breaking your rule. Maybe it's time to end this. Would like to change what I said earlier, and would like to say nobody is the most famous person, from Madagascar. Okay. I'm guessing I'm the only one, so that would, yeah, sure, make me the most famous, Oh god. Oh. The panic in me when I saw it said Kuroshiro Nova banned too. Oh my god, what? That's not what I meant. I didn't know that it was temporary ban, the timeout. I thought it was just muting you in the chat. Is it the same thing here? Oh my god. Yeah, no, but that will teach you too. It's a break. Oh no! It's supposed to be a fun rule. No, it's a serious rule. It's a serious rule. I do not joke with rules. Over 2.5 is first time on Twitch. Yes, this is the first time I'm typing out someone on Twitch. I didn't know it did that. Oh my god. Plus, it went like the way it says it in the chat. It's like it's saying you permanently bye bye. You're no longer allowed here. Should be honored by the bong. Well, you are the very first one to get the bong, so I guess. I've only ever bonked people from because of that rule. Like, people, you like it, don't you? You do it on purpose. You're doing it on purpose. Aside from bots. Aside from bots. Oh god. Okay, I think maybe it's time we finish. We ended today. I'm all over the place. Your Honor, the defendant, please. Oopsie daisy. Don't oopsie daisy me. You made it on purpose. You made it on purpose. Oh my god. Oh, but yeah. Whoever bought the chocolate, you should. Oh no, wait. It's only the membership. I don't know how. I'll figure something out. But yeah. There's the Discord server. There's not a lot of us, but there's the Discord server you get access to when you be a little supporter of Nova. So I'll check it out afterward and try to send you the invite if you wish to go in. And on Twitch, you just have to if you're a subscriber on Twitch, you should just if you want to get into the Discord, you should just what's it called? You should just connect your Discord account with the Twitch integration, and it should get you in. 2 has never been bonked so far on Twitch. You reckon across the world. And on the Southern Hemisphere, 2 double points. Your first bonk was from a clueless girl from Madagascar. Because you broke the rule of talking about the movie that shall not be named. Well, at least I think you can brag about that. Oh, you can brag about that at least, I guess. God, I can't with this, honestly. Okay. I think we'll end here for today. Almost 3 hours. We talked here a bit for almost 3 hours. I hope it was an enjoyable time for you guys. Enjoy your bragging rights for being the first one to get the bonk on Twitch too. But yeah, thank you guys so much for dropping by today. If you haven't yet, do check out my cover on my YouTube channel. I am singing in my native language, so that way you get to listen to it, like how I talk in my native language. Although I am very careful with pronunciation in like how I articulate in general when I sing. In general, I try to be careful how I articulate. So that's not exactly how I talk. It's not exactly how I talk. But yeah, if you're curious, also there are translations, English and French translations, so you can understand what is said in the song. I try to make them they're a bit literal, but that's because I considered that it was more important to have like the as close a meaning to what it says in the original language, instead of trying to convey the sense but kind of lose of a play on words, even though it is pretty hard to try to translate wordplay. But yeah, do check it out if you haven't yet. If you're interested, do check it out. Thank you so much for dropping by today. I will be putting up the schedule for next week on Sunday, as always, if everything goes fine. Normally I should be putting it up on Sunday, and I hope to see you guys again, if not next week, another time. It is always a joy to see a name I recognize. I am actually very bad with names, so do consider that if I remember you, it means you were there more than once. That's why I picked up on your name, because you were special. You were special. No, but it is always really a joy to see a new name, and then that same name coming back again and again and again. it really, I can't possibly tell you how much that means. And reading kind comments on cover releases is always a joy. It always makes my day. Know that when you leave a small message, it always makes my day. So thank you very much. But do not feel forced to leave any message. just do whatever you want to do. Just do whatever you want to do. I'll continue doing things here as I've done and try to make them better, so that you continue having a nice, enjoyable moment here as long as you wish to stay here. Alright. Thank you guys very much for dropping by today. Hope to see you again, if not next week, another time, whenever you can, whenever you wish to stay, to drop by, do drop by. In the meantime, do take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.